Hello and welcome to Finextra TV. I'm Liam Xavier and you join us at Money 2020 in Amsterdam. We're about to talk about real-time data and AI, and to help me in that conversation is Rishi Doerga of Confluent. Rishi, lovely to see you, welcome.
You too, thank you.
So, real-time data, it's obviously pretty useful, it's been growing gradually. What is the biggest impact on financial industries?
Right, so maybe for people watching this first, let's take a look at what real-time data really is. So we are a company that revolves around a managed service around Kafka. And Kafka is a technology that was invented at LinkedIn because they ran into serious operational problems. Moving data from A to B, ideally moving it just once and then moving it as fast as they could. So this spawned Kafka as a technology and Confluent as a company to build a managed service around that to help companies operationalize on Kafka. I noticed you were kind of surprised when I started talking about LinkedIn, but actually this technology is very generic in its nature. So financial companies can also use us. And I think in the finance industry, it makes a lot of sense to use a technology like Kafka and like Confluent. Because if anything, they benefit most from real-time data. Right? If we look at the typical use cases, we can maybe think of fraud detection or real-time trading or T+1 trading. So some of our customers are like Bitfavo, SumUp, or, those are companies that really capitalize on the fact that they can move data in real time and service their companies in real time.
Great. And obviously next to that is AI within real-time data. Obviously it's something we hear every event, every meeting, every dinner. Is there a compelling use case that perhaps hasn't been mentioned or an aspect that has been forgotten?
Right, so when we look at AI use cases, I think it's really important to take a step back and understand what is required in order to deploy an AI use case. So from our perspective, there are two things that you need to take into account. One is AI needs vast amount of data to train on, which is something that we can facilitate by way of something we call table flow. Basically, if you use Kafka as the glue between all your operational systems, we effectively have all the data sets coming from those systems, and we can maybe create combinations of that. We call that data products. And by just a few clicks, we can land that data on an analytical platform, where you can start training your models in batch, right? Those are typically batch processes. Now, the other part of the AI equation is the Agentic AI, where you need to feed those agents with real-time data, right? They've been trained on historic, but then if you want those agents to say something meaningful about an event that just happened, you need to feed them with that event. So from Confluent perspective, if you use us as the glue between all those operational systems, we can just very easily feed real-time data into those agents. And then at the same time, once you're done with that and you want to retrain your model, we still have that same data to create a coherent data set to train on.
Amazing, and obviously within AI and within data, one thing that's been a conversation is people that are fairly nervous about some of it. What's your advice to those people that need the real-time data, that appreciate the understanding, but are still pretty nervous of the AI element?
Right, so the nervousness often comes from not understanding how you trained your AI. So maybe bad quality data seeped in there, or even worse, data was used for training that you weren't supposed to use for that purpose in the first place. So for that we have something we call data governance. Basically what we say is whenever data flows through our system, it needs to be accompanied by metadata. Technical metadata, right, that describes a field or maybe the length of a customer ID, but also which data is open and which data maybe needs to be encrypted. So we handle all that automatically in the platform. And then I think for companies wanting to get started with AI, I would say first get that metadata layer in order. Then make sure that you have single outlets for each system that you need to feed into the AI. Right? There's not much point in having a customer relation system that feeds data into your AI and then does 20,000 manipulations on the data before feeding it into the next system. Right? That's going to cause some kind of conflict. Yeah. So I would say those two things are the main things to keep in mind.
Amazing. So I think that metadata point especially is something that we're really valuable for our audience. It's not, you don't always hear it, so it's fantastic. Thank you for joining us today, and I'll let you get back to the busy event.
Cool. Thank you for having me.